But
oh man, I see this conversation.
Yeah, like most of the people I don't bake from online.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. We're about to go live.
All right, come on.
You ready?
All right, so just don't turn to me.
Why? All right, we're streaming. All right, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aisha Sims. I am the host and a founder of the Covered in Business Network, and you are live listening to us live on the Covered in Business show, live on the Daily Grind radio show. You can also tune in on the TuneIn app and find us on the Daily Grind. We're on the show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. So make sure you tune in and check us out every week. We have different. I'm sorry. This show is raw and uncut. I'm sorry. So every week we have different Muslim entrepreneurs that we showcase to tell us about their businesses, their hardships, their successes, and they give you all a few tips. And I have my co-host here. You ready?
I'm ready.
You sure? I'm about to turn it around. You sure? All right. I have my co-host here, Tia Havens, owner of Amateur Lost Treasures at 6303 Lansdowne Avenue, Philadelphia, PA. Check her out. It's the one-stop shop for your Muslimas and non-Muslimas. She sells everything.
Everything women except shoes.
Except shoes.
Assalamualaikum.
And we have Suleha.
Hey, assalamualaikum everyone.
Owner of Essential. So horrible. Essential Nutrientz.
Hey, you guys.
And we have Melina,
Hello,
owner
everyone.
of Fitra 1.
Yes, ma'am. Fitra 1.
And today these ladies are going to tell us about their products. They both specialize in natural, organic products. And let me see your packaging. Where's yours? Did you bring yours, man?
I didn't bring any.
So for those who have not seen it or don't know me, here we go. So this is my Aloe Shine, and this is the liquid shimmer. And these are listed on www.essentialnutrients.com. And that's Nutrientz with NUTRIENTZ.com. And I have two sizes. This is the set. You can also get on my website as well. And so I brought them in just so that people who are not aware of who I am can kind of see what's going on and see what they're actually purchasing.
So what's the difference between the two? Because I see one is oil-based and one is maybe a pomade.
Yeah, so one of them is really for if you want a little bit more heavier coverage. So say for instance you're wearing braids or you're wearing twists and you really want something a little bit more heavier but you don't want the weight of the product, then you would use the Aloe Shine. Okay. If you are like straightening your hair and you just want a very nice glossy shine to your hair but you want it to still move, then you would use the liquid shimmer. And they can also be used together.
And what are they used for?
And so these is used for moisturizing your hair. So it's really a daily moisturizer. And it kind of takes care of the worry of having something that's going to be put on your hair daily. It's kind of taking away the worry of having something healthy on your hair. And since you're going to be using it every day, you want it to be nutritious. So what it does is both of them protect your hair from damage by providing the right amount of moisture. It absorbs into the hair shaft. And so it basically gets your hair healthy over time. Okay. And then also your hair is protected from split ends. It's protected from just general breakage. It gives your hair shine. And so that's basically what both of them do.
Okay. My hair is thin. I have a lot of hair, but my hair is thin. Will that weigh my hair down?
Absolutely
not.
not.
Will it have a buildup?
No.
You said it's daily.
No, it doesn't. It's not a product that that has a build-up. It's more so that something that becomes a part of your hair shaft.
Okay.
So what happens is over time, you'll see that the shine of your hair is naturally there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you shampoo it and you flat iron it, you'll see that it's already shiny, and you may not even need to use that much of it. So you really don't need to use a dime to a nickel size, but over time, it just starts to improve the way your hair shaft shines.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be a sealant, or it just goes into the follicles?
Well, it's not necessarily. Well, it can be considered as a sealant if you look in terms of water. In terms of when you wet your hair and you decide to put an oil on top of it to seal it.
Okay.
However, I'm speaking of when your hair is dry.
Dry. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it just, you know how when you put a moisturizer on, sometimes if you touch it, it comes off on your fingers,
Mm-hmm.
right? But with this, when you touch it, it doesn't come off on your fingers, but your hair is still very moisturized and soft.
I have $1 million question.
Sure.
So a lot of times in the morning when, last thing I'm doing my hair, adding some, moisture to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's oil based. My first thought is the color of my keymark, because I don't wear black all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And brown and blue are dangerous colors
For oil.
with oil. Does it transfer over onto the keymarks, or is it something that I would have to put on early and then maybe put an underscarf on and then my keymark in order to protect my keymark, or does it go through right away?
Well, you know what? I have not heard anyone complain about that. In fact, people are purchasing this because it does not get oil onto their hijab. And then, as you can see, I have on a satin hijab, and I use both of these products, and so I wear these satin hijabs, number one, because you guys, I sell them, and these are night protection scarves, okay? But they can be worn as hijab, and because it's going to keep these oils in my hair, I'm wearing them now, okay? So that I don't have to worry about the cotton sucking out the natural moisture out of my hair, or my hijab sucking the natural moisture out of my hair and then causing more breakage, okay? Or causing, when it's rubbing against your edges, it can cause your edges to basically break over time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the
And
satin
leave you with
scarf.
smudges.
Yeah. So the satin scarf.
What did you
She said smudges. Like, I guess
I'm
it
a little
rubs.
slow. I'm
I
sorry.
guess she's saying that it rubs off. Yeah. So anyway, so really, you wouldn't have to really worry about that. And a lot of sisters who even have locks who wear hijab, that was their biggest concern with purchasing the product, was that, is the oil going to mess up their hijab? So I have on the satin scarf, you guys. There's no stains. So it's safe to say that no, that's not going to happen.
So I don't have to, you know how sometimes when your hijab gets messy from the oil, you got the oil stains, and you can only, you've never, oh my God.
Like a late night when I first started, I guess it depends on what type of oil, what type of product you're using,
Mm-hmm.
and how heavy that product is. Maybe
Okay.
you're using something with petroleum and mineral
Okay.
and parabens and things that shouldn't be on the skin here or nowhere. It should be in the car.
Okay.
Exactly.
Like petroleum that's what gases derive from. Those are things that should not be in our products. So a lot of times they have pretty packaging, but the contents are not safe.
Okay. So those are your products, don't have those products in it.
So actually, Essential Nutrients is a product that doesn't have soy, mineral oil, petroleum, or silicone. And so the reason that, I wanted to do this was primarily because, like I said, I was sick at one point. And I really wanted something. What I was having a problem with was walking up to a product and just putting it in my bag. I was looking at a product and then I had to put them all down because they had soy was in the first line, petroleum, mineral oil, and they had a lot of silicones. And when you think of silicones, you have to think of
Like methicone and all
Well,
that stuff.
well, also too, like what you spray on your suede shoes.
Layer up,
Like when you spray on
whole
your
layer.
leather.
Yes.
You know, it just it's like a repellent.
Solution, right? That is heavy.
So really, when you're using things that have silicone in it, you have to think it's repelling moisture. So then you have the people. I seen a product that was all silicone, and I'm just like, okay, now what? I mean, the person's hair is not going to get healthy. It's going to break because it's repelling moisture. So it's not going to bring in anything into the hair shaft. It's like cutting it off from bringing anything in. So when you're using silicone and petroleum and mineral oil, these are like man-made ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, when you step away from what Allah has created naturally, you just run into problems. And so that's what was happening to me. So I didn't want that in my diet because I didn't want soy in my diet.
Yeah,
you know, because
estrogen receptive.
Yeah, so that was a problem for me with trying to keep my fibroids away after my surgery, you know? And so it was just like, I have to cut everything. I was using collagen elastin for years. St. Ives collagen elastin lotion.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I was using that like religiously, morning, evening, night. I was using it everywhere. But over time, my fibroids, they were growing. And I didn't even know it. I didn't know it. Just one day, I just had this huge attack and started fainting and just, I lost my hearing. I didn't have any blood in my body. I didn't know what was going on.
And that's what we need to touch on, because there was a reason why you started Essential Nutrients.
Yes.
There was a reason. So tell us, you know, we didn't get your background and where you started. We went straight to the product. But like, who are you and why did you start?
Okay, so my name is Suleha Turner. I am originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. I moved to Philadelphia 20 years ago, and I came here because there weren't a lot of Muslims in Indiana. You know, it was kind of like just, I started in the Nation of Islam, and then I took my Shahada in Indianapolis, and I was already coming here studying because I was traveling here to study. And so I took a Reiki healing class here, and I was going to be a Reiki healer. And then I got here and then went back to Indianapolis. I ended up needing glasses after taking that Reiki healing class and decided I was not going to do it. So I guess whatever happened, it was just a crazy experience. Nonetheless, when I came to Philadelphia, I came as just visiting. And so then someone called me and I was considering moving here, but I really didn't understand or know how I was going to do it. So mysteriously, some sister heard me say to someone else that I might be considered, I might consider it because there's just so many Muslims. And I started off, as an aspiring model, and I was already in the beauty industry. And when I became Muslim, I didn't really know how to make both of those realities fit. How could I make that world fit with my new spiritual world? So I ended up cutting everything off. I stopped modeling, I stopped doing hair, I stopped all that. So when I moved here, I kind of came here like as a blank.
That's how I met you.
Yeah, okay. I kind of came here as like a blank sheet of paper and just really kind of ready to start over. And then so someone called me and was like, hey, I have a job for you, just out of the blue. And I didn't know who this lady was. She was like, well, you can come here, you can live free room and board if you become a nanny, if you be my nanny. So I came here, I was a nanny. And then I ended up getting married. And then that's how I've been here ever since. And so, how the product came along was, number one, I started off baking. Well, first I had a caramel popcorn business. And then that went under, and then I had a baking business. It was called Suleha's Homemade Sweets. So then I was doing that for many, many years, and then I stopped. And then so, I was really trying to find out what the heck my passion was, because I knew I loved that. But, it just wasn't that thing. It did not tickle my soul. So one day I was just like, okay, Allah, what is this? What am I going to do? And then I decided I'm going to go back to cosmetology school because I had already been doing that.
Because you do hair. Also.
Yeah, I'm also a hairstylist. So I signed up and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And my soul just lit up. And I knew that Allah was inviting me back into the beauty industry. So
you don't cry.
No. It's probably, no. So then I was like being invited to live here, but I was also giving back my passion again. And so while I was in school, I got sick. And so I didn't really know what the heck was going on. I was sitting there drinking coffee, and we would be eating desserts, and we were just eating a lot of junk, and coffee and chips, whatever was there. Because most of us was going from work to school, so we had to be there at 4:30. So we were just eating whatever. So I would be sitting at my desk at school, and I would be the room would just start turning. I was just getting so concerned, like, what the heck is going on? At first I thought somebody had like some type of curse on me, or they, some evil eye, and I'm just like, dang, what is going on? So what was happening was that, my fibers are growing, and, I just started getting really sick, and finally one day I could no longer even move at the school. And so they came and got me, and they told me I was just dehydrated. I went back to school and fainted. And then, first I was shampooing somebody's hair, and then my body just started, everything just started going crazy. And I'm just like, you know what, I'm sorry, I actually cannot continue. And once I stepped away from my client, I just fell down, lost my hearing. And it was a very scary thing for me, because that was something that I had never experienced before. I had never been ill like that.
So do you attribute it to, was it attributed to the products that you were using, the food you was ingesting, or maybe the chemicals at the school?
Well, see, here's the thing. You really never know. I did not know, and there was no way for me to find out. But I knew that after doing my research, when they told me that I did have it, I started researching. So when I started researching, the soy was coming up. The petroleum was coming up. A lot of the mineral oil things were coming up. A lot of the relaxer information was coming up. And I had been getting relaxers for years. But not only was I getting relaxers for years, I also was a vegetarian. And when you become vegetarian, what does your diet consist of?
The
tofu.
Oh, I don't eat that stuff.
So I was making tofu, fried chicken. My stuff was tasting like chicken. I was like, fried tofu, macaroni, greens, just whatever. And so that was my diet, and I was a vegetarian. So
you were a soytarian.
A soytarian.
Not necessarily a vegetarian. I think that's something that many people that are vegetarians, they take the meat out, but they substitute with a product. And there are so many different studies on soy as to
the soy that's hair.
Yes, the levels of, is it good for you, is it not, how much is it, and such. And when you look at most of the products that are vegetarian based, the first property is soy. Yeah.
So that's what was going on. And so what I did was, it was just a process of elimination. I said, hey, boom, say nah, see you later. Anything, any shampoo, conditioners. I said, look, let's just start over. So Essential Nutrients started with just me really wanting to find something that was healthy for myself. And so, but I had to address it from a hairstylist standpoint, because when I do a silk press on my hair, do I want my hair to be heavy? So I don't.
What is a silk press? I'm sorry.
So it's when you straighten your hair, like when you flat iron your hair. When I want to straighten my hair and I want my hair to flow. Is there
sorry, I'm off a lot. Is there a product that goes with the silk press? I've never had one. I just hear about it, and it doesn't sound like it's just a flat iron. It's something else that goes with silk.
But you know what?
This is a good thing before doing it. Is
exactly.
The type of iron you use is what's even more important.
Exactly. So what she's saying is totally. Yeah. What she's saying is totally.
So I use the ionic.
Is this ceramic or
titanium?
Titanium. I mean, excuse me.
Well, see, the thing is, it's really like, when you think about a silk press, you just there's two ways you can look at it. From what my understanding of it was, originally a silk press was you're adding silk proteins into the hair that are being absorbed into the hair shaft, so it makes it silky. Okay. It is a silk
so it's
press.
A product that goes along
it's like,
with the press.
It may be in the product that you're using as an ingredient. Okay. Like silk protein. Okay? It'll say that. Okay, that's originally what a silk press was, but then now I don't necessarily know if people are looking at it from that standpoint. So what they do is a silk press is the look of your hair looking silky after you flat iron it. You understand what I'm saying? So there's two different ways that you can really kind of achieve that, but originally it was you're adding silk proteins, which come from worms. You're adding that ingredient is already in the product, and that is being put into your hair as a deep condition or as a leave-in conditioner. And when you flat iron it, it gives you a shiny, silky, healthy look.
Is that better?
Well, I mean, it's not. Anytime you're adding keratin or any type of silk protein to your hair, it's really going to make your hair so much better. And I think what it is that really trying to make sure that your hair is maintaining the proper balance. But essential nutrients came into existence just by me wanting to find something healthy for myself. So I wanted what was essential and what was nutritious. So I combined that together as essential nutrients, and that's basically how it came about. And it's been great going, great so far. And you're getting a lot of different things in one bottle. So.
Well, I have the product, so. I know.
And even though I produce products, I'm going to order the product. Because I like
Thank you so much.
And I know a good thing when I see it.
So you primarily deal with the oils, not necessarily the shampoo and conditioner. Soliha?
I'm sorry, say that again.
You deal with the oil products. You don't make shampoo and conditioner.
No, I don't do shampoo and conditioner right now because I didn't feel like that was something that was missing for myself.
Okay.
All I wanted was moisturizer, so really it was just kind of like myself. So I didn't think of a shampoo and a conditioner, but people are asking
not
me.
Yet. No.
Yeah, that was the next question I was going to ask.
Yeah, people are asking me, and I'm just like, well, that wasn't really my thing. I was just trying to kind of solve one problem in the market, not try to do a whole, you know what I mean? I'm so happy with this, but we'll see what Allah has, Inshallah.
All right, so let's move on to May.
Assalamu
alaikum.
So, okay, we met years ago, and one day I walked into UMM Fashion Show, and you had this wonderful display of all this bath and body stuff. So can you tell us a little bit? Because your background is in what?
My background, I actually have I'm a healthy lifestyle advocate. I've lived the whole lifestyle my entire life. Growing up, we never had canned goods. Mom was cooking, rolling out dumplings on the table, taking yeast, making rolls, and just living a whole lifestyle. So that's my background. That's what I come from, and that's who I am. I decided to obtain a associate's in business, a bachelor's of science in healthcare, as well, and I'm in my master's program, which I'm doing a dual major now. Okay. And inshallah, that's not going to be enough. Because as African American Muslims, we have to be over the top to prove ourselves. So what I did is I created a organic and natural body product line, Fitra. I'm a healthcare major. I'm just coming from work to do this, and my business is on the side of my career because it's my passion. And my business is for my. I have 5 children. I've been married for. Yesterday was my 18th anniversary.
Congratulations.
And, basically, even with my children, they'll attest to they only eat a certain diet. They were all breastfed. They were all given every fruit and vegetable that Allah gave us one at a time, made from me with no salt, with it nothing, just made for them. So they eat all fruits and vegetables. And a lot of people laugh and they say, well, why your kids, you don't have no problems with them eating vegetables? Well, that's all they
I
do.
fed them vegetables.
That's my kids. That's my kids.
I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan, but I do consume a high fruit and vegetable diet because that's just what we have to do, and that's how our food have to be, prepared. However, even with selecting good foods, I've learned that they're being harvested in harmful ways, just like our products. They're using GMOs, they're using things to manipulate the crops and to manipulate the foods to produce more and to salvage them, to make sure that they look a certain way and, they're consumed a certain way. So we make it this super shiny apple that we really need to soak in some apple cider vinegar before even eating because of the contents that are all over it.
But I didn't know you should soak them
Every
in apple
fruit and
cider
vegetable
vinegar.
that you get, put it in your sink with a little apple cider vinegar. If you can scrub it off if you want, but that alone is going to attack whatever foreign bodies are there, because then we're doing, the law says, go and seek that which from the earth that is good, and we're doing it. But we didn't know that before we brought it. They sprayed it up and they did this and that, and when we rinse it off, the components stay because they're used to taking water.
Now with the apple cider vinegar, because I drink that straight out the bottle.
I do that every morning.
I drink that straight out the bottle. Now, when you wash off the fruits and vegetables, because I took meat out of my diet.
I know I heard about your pancakes. Gluten free.
Do you add water to the apple cider vinegar in the sink?
Yes.
When you wash it off?
I would do
it's like a cup, like a capful, or maybe a quarter cup, depending on how much you're doing.
Depending on how much
it's basically, you're still using the water, but
diluted.
The apple cider vinegar is just like using Dawn. It's Dawn for your vegetables, and you're absolutely right. I bought a cucumber that I'm suspect of actually eating it. It is disgusting.
Is it waxy on the outside?
It's waxy, and it just felt really not good. It wasn't shiny, which is amazing because you're right. Normally the fruits and vegetables, especially in the supermarket, they're nice and shiny and perfect looking and such like that. And then if you go to like Produce Junction, it's like, okay, what's going on with my apple? Why it looks so dull?
Be careful with some of the produce junctions because some of them obtain their products from countries that have no laws, no regulations.
China doesn't
so
have
they're
any laws.
harvesting in the worst ways, and we're like, well, you know what? Cool, I got my rutabaga for half the price. Their watermelon is this big for half the price. So we just have to be careful with some of the produce junctions. And one of the things that we can do is just look and see where is this coming from. And ask them, like, where are you getting your products from? Where did you get these apples from? Where did you get this from? Where was this derived at? Just so that you can know if they have any type of laws for harvesting food. Is this somewhere that nobody knows about? Just be careful because they're manipulating a lot of the plants, and that's why they outsource and go places. Not only, you have places that are producing things where it's not even native to that land. So
true, because everyone's exporting and importing their own things.
Yes, ma'am.
So back to your products. What products is it that you do?
I have a line of skin. Well, first of all, my products are with Fitra, and that's FITRAH for Fitra. _1 is the Instagram. Fitra1 as a word is the website. And what I have is about 200 or more products for the hair, skin, and vaginal area. I also have bath accessories that are natural, like wood brushes and everything. That's why the other conversation I was taking note of. But, I have skincare products, hair care products, and vaginal care products. The skincare products, I have cleansers, butters, creams, lotions, oils, an array of things.
Do you make them all?
I make everything.
And you work full time?
Yes.
And you go to school?
Yes, and I cook every day. Yeah, the thing about time, it seems like a lot of things, and I'm also developing 2 more businesses to start, as well as encouraging my children, because we can do a lot with our day if we properly prepare. Preparation prevents poor performance. So if we're just sitting there like, you know what, I want to do this business, However, if 3 jobs hired you right now, you would go to those 3 jobs. You'd be like, I put 8 hours in on that clock. I put 8 hours in, and I seen a new post going around online, not to be sidetracked, but it says, why work 100 hours for somebody else? Or why work 40 hours for somebody else when you can work 100? And I'm thinking, damn, I'm doing all of it myself. I'm still doing the 40 hours and the hours at home. I have 5 honor roll straight A students, and that's been their academic career. And it's like all in what we do with our time. Now, I don't have a lot of friends that I hang out with. My 2 best friends are the 2 friends I've had since I was a child. We're all the same, pretty much. One is in Jersey, one is close to Philly, but when I'm just dedicated to them because they didn't ask to come here. So, it's times when I've had to put things on hold. Like some people say, well, how did she get her degree with kids? Well, I've taken breaks and I've put classes on, semesters on hold. I've taken off. It could be that, especially with having twins, as pregnancy number 4. And, that was a big job with breastfeeding them. I feel like I shut the world out something to make sure they got their food and everything.
I remember that conversation we had.
Yes, ma'am. So, it's all in planning.
Okay.
Things that I'm doing now, I've wanted to do since I was a child. I was told to write those dreams, write those short-term goals, put out those long-term goals, and pursue them.
Okay.
Now, I can't say that I was always told how to pursue everything, but that's the magnificence of our Creator. He uses his vessels. He'll send them along our way. This person does that. That person does that. And that's how I'm here today. Aisha, you guys, everybody. And some people say, well, as big as your line is, like you saw my things when I was out, why are you buying this stuff from Essentials Nutrientz? Why? Because she has something good going on right here. I want to show her that I believe in her. I'm here to support her, and I want everybody else to support her. Because when we go to the sneaker store, we see Puma, we see Nike, we see Adidas. They're getting all of our money for generations, but they're not competing. They're just consistently producing, and we're consuming.
Correct.
So back to the consumer. While we're on consumerism, I want to touch on that. As consumers, I just want to let everyone know that it's our job to really be careful about what we consume. Don't go for the pretty packaging. I mean, trust me, I love packaging now. I love to get that handbag and that pretty box and bag, but only if it's going to be a bag that's not going to break down on me. Only if it's going to be one that I don't have to buy 10 or 15 times. And when we're talking about products, these are topical solutions. Topical solutions go atop of our body. Our body absorbs 60% of that.
Correct.
Every day, all day.
And our skin is the largest body
It's
system.
the longest body pore, and it's absorbing all the time. And like she said, St. Ives. I used to like the cherry almond Jergens. The
Me
smell
too.
when I was a kid.
Oh
Who's
my
grandma?
gosh.
And I was
you know all of this stuff.
I used to like it. I used to be an Always girl. Had to have my Always sanitary napkins.
Yeah.
However, that Always is made by Procter & Gamble. That company was approached by Congress, by one woman in Congress who did a study to show that your products are toxic. They're causing cancer. They're causing fibroids. They're causing dioxide. They're giving people different, womb and vaginal problems that are lifelong and generational. The dioxin count in a person who has cancer, have had cancer, or who's developing cancer is this high. The doctors already know that. They're not going to tell us to stop using those products. That's how they make money. And we're like, okay, well, my flow is getting heavier now. That's what I was thinking when you talked about the fibroids. Yes. That flow is going to get heavier. It's not just getting heavier because you're getting older. It's getting heavier because we're poisoning our bodies from the vaginal area using soaps. I have a vaginal soap, a pump that is derived of only distilled water. Apple cider vinegar, aloe, things that are going to cleanse you naturally, pH balance you, and make you feel comfortable, so that you're not feeling like, you wash up and you're like, ouch, oh wow, this is burning, this is uncomfortable. That soap is not good for our skin. It's not good. We definitely shouldn't use it in sensitive places. Our deodorant has so many toxins in it. It's causing the breast cancer. We're putting metals in our body every day because we love Secret. Why? Only because it smells good. And we have to stop being deceived from, it's like a child. Oh, it looks so good, but they're not thinking, is this healthy for me? I gotta have my Secret. I gotta have my this and that and the other, but it's killing our people and the masses. Yes. And guess what? The industry knows, for no reason at all, they put these things in our product. And I'm going to say, as a producer, I don't know if it's to fill the product. Because some people ask me, how can you produce a product that expensive and not charge this much money? Well, I do have I have a career, so finances is not my aim. My aim is to stop seeing people that I love and care about go.
Absolutely.
When I got to high school, my friend died, so many people were losing in our communities to these products and to this diet, and we just have to change that. Even my hair care line, I have hair care products, and all of them are paraben free. They have no sulfates. They have no, and some people say, well, what is the big deal? What is the big deal with sulfates? Or what is the big deal with parabens? Why are they such a problem? These are man-made products, and We already have a creator who has given us everything that we need. We can use the things that he gave us so that we'll be healthy in the long run.
I think also one of the things with in this new industry, a lot of companies say it's all natural.
It's not.
But in actuality, it's really not. You really have to read the ingredients and understand how to read ingredients, because the way that it's labeled automatically tells you what's the highest property in it. So whatever your first product is, that's the highest content in it. And when you look at it, you see, petroleum, mineral, and such. And then the good property is all the way at the bottom.
Exactly.
It's about 20
ingredients.
20 ingredients down.
And it may only be 2.
Yes,
right.
Ingredients.
Yeah, so it's definitely something.
Their definition of all natural is not our definition of all natural. They tweak things and they manipulate us so much in the society. Their definition of all natural means it has natural components. It doesn't mean that it's free of unnatural components.
Correct.
When we think all natural, we think it's a straight from the earth.
Just like all natural flavoring.
All natural flavoring, exactly. So they play a lot of games, and a lot of it is trying to understand what's going on, what their definitions are, and then the most important thing is sharing it with our people. Sharing everything with our people, sharing it with our children. I can not wake up tomorrow. My kids know how to eat. They know how to live. They have the proper upbringing, and that's what's important.
So my next question, and this question is to both of you, who is your target market?
My target market is the world, the community, primarily minorities, because when I travel and when I'm bumping shoulders with people who are in a different socioeconomic class, they already have these things. They're aware of this. Last month when I was at Great Wolf Lodge with my family, I went to Walmart. I posted it. I went to Target, because I went to Target and they had not only one natural sanitary napkin, because my travel bag was left home, so I had to go to Target. Give me some clothes, give me some sanitary
They have it in my
napkins.
Walmart too in Delaware.
When you go further out, they have the items available. That's why you don't see their diagnosis so high. And I can bring the statistical facts in from a healthcare perspective to see what targeted community are being affected by this. It's the socioeconomic class that fit my people that is the problem. They're not within our reach. We can go to a store, any store, within 10 miles of this radius. We're not going to find anything. We've got to go up to Chestnut Hill to the co-op, and I can't think of anybody else around here that has any natural products. They don't have any natural tampons. They don't have anything like that. And when I say natural products, I don't mean whipping up Shea. I don't mean just whipping Shea. Shea's great, but Shea's heavy. And I might not just want no heavy Shea. I don't want to be, like my husband say, I don't want no wax today.
It's good for them heels, though.
I put it on my shoes, I put it on my leather bags, I do everything with Shea, and I'm so thankful, to Allah for Shea. But it's not the actual go-to. A lot of people say I have an organic and natural product, but I'm whipping Shea. Shea is not it. It's very heavy. It is good in some ways for some things, but we have so many different components that Allah has given us. Everybody has different skin. Like when you were, one person may say that their hair is thick, the next person may say that their hair is thin. Exactly. Well, the person with thick hair is not going to use a butter or, this solution. They're going to go with the oil. Why? Because their hair is already thick. A person with thin hair could go
I
from
can use that, and I can use
but
less of it.
Not if they're looking for body. They may say, well, I'm going to go with the oil too because I want to,
Well, here's the deal.
Shake it.
But here's the deal, though, and because you bring up an interesting point about shea butter. It does, it is very heavy for the hair, and I was just like, you know what? That I took that completely out. Why? Because I felt like if I'm going to offer someone some super quality, I will not put that in there because number one, it makes the hair heavy, but it kind of brings down the quality of the product and make it more of a filler.
A filler, exactly.
Okay, and so it's just like a filler
so
to
it's
me.
A carrier.
It's a carrier of whatever you're doing.
Just like what I have.
Just like petroleum, right? Will carry coconut oil. Petroleum will carry a little bit of shea butter if when you're looking at an ingredient on the back of a bottle. So it just is too heavy. But the thing about it is I chose not to put that in there because of what my goals were. And I still wanted this product to operate on a professional level and make the outcome of whatever I'm doing with this product come out as so professional, so that the person who's using it at home, they can still maintain that look. And so I think with shea butter, I was actually at a conference, and I told you, I hope I'm not taking over, but
No, you're fine.
I was at a conference, and a chemist came up to the table, and he, of course, could not resist putting his fingers in the product, right? So,
Sounds like that's a contamination.
He bought that.
It like scared me.
He bought that. He bought that.
Yes, exactly. Putting your finger in there with your oils and such like that.
So he tried it, and he was like, "This is a good product." He was like, "But how are you making money? You know, with these ingredients, you should use shea butter, and you should use jojoba, and you should use, you know, something like less, so you can get more profit from it."
Okay.
And I'm thinking, see, that's not where I was trying to go with this at all. Because my thing is, if you're going to put something out into the world, you want it to be you want it to be put out with integrity, and you want people to be able to trust it, and you want it to be quality. Because the problem is, we got a whole lot of Blue Magics. They got like 20 different Blue Magics, you know.
And the saddest part is they all have the same exact ingredient.
Mainly
do.
petroleum. We
It's
also
just a
get our
different
oil
color and
change.
different scent.
Yeah.
When we get our oil change,
Exactly.
we load our cars up with petroleum to run. We certainly, humans, do not need what mechanical devices need to operate.
Yeah.
So my next question, sorry, people interrupted in my line.
We have to take some
Where do you see
questions from
yourself?
Facebook, so.
Where do you see your business going? What's the next level of your business?
My next level for Fitra is I'm considering, I may or may not because of overhead cost, I'm considering putting it back into a store. And I say I may or may not because even though I have what people need, they may not know they need it. They may look at, you know, what I have, people might say, I've had people say, that's whipped shea. And I say, well, I have all the ingredients right there. There's no shea in it. Well, how did you make this with no shea? Well,
None of your business.
this is something that was composed for you. And then my thing is, I'm so committed. Some people say, because the people who are, you know, who I work with, they're always ordering different people in different socioeconomic statuses. They don't care how much they pay. They just want what's good.
You want a good product.
My job
Exactly.
is I have to also do awareness and education because I love my own people. I am an African European. I am Ghanaian Nigerian European. And I love my people, and I know what my people went through, and I know why they don't know what they need. So Allah chose me to educate them, because the only benefit in knowing something is if you share it with other people. So people can stop being diagnosed with these and dying at early ages. They're because they have this lifestyle that invited the diagnosis.
So speaking of that, one of the things I stay away from products that go on the body, either skin, hair, or such for myself in producing it because of the liability. How do you find that?
I'm confident with my product. I'm ethically. It should be, if you know that you're allergic, like I have a son who's allergic to nuts. I'm not going to produce anything with nuts. My labeling and my integrity in selecting these products, I don't care about liability.
Okay.
People can make his claims up as they want, but where are they going to go?
Okay.
If you know that you shouldn't have any oils or nuts, don't buy anything with it. All the ingredients are there, so the liability becomes your own. I'm not using anything hard.
So you have warning labels on
I have
your
a limit.
products and
It's
such?
no warning labels for
She's
things that are
using all
natural.
natural.
You don't need warning labels for things. Just like when you go on the market, if you're allergic to apples, they don't need a warning label for apples. You
Just
know
don't
that you
buy
shouldn't
the
eat it. Don't buy it. If it doesn't work good for you, don't use it anymore.
So all of your ingredients are
all of
listed
my
on your
ingredients
products.
are listed, and they're all whole and natural.
Because I know
use
some,
any fillers.
especially when it comes to natural products, a lot of times small businesses will leave, they won't say all of the ingredients, they'll say other products, or, you know, it'll say like a secret ingredient or other ingredients and such like that.
I've seen.
I know,
people
like,
where-
I'm allergic to tea tree. And not always is it listed. That's
it
a
should be because
it
it's
should.
very strong.
It is, and people don't realize that tea tree is healthy to you,
Right.
for you,
Right.
but it's not necessarily for me.
Right.
And that's so that I guess that was
That
it.
would
In
be
your
labeling,
product, in
yeah.
your labeling, it states all your products.
Legally, you're supposed to tell. You can put, you know, like I tell people everything that's in there because I make my own labels. I make my own products. I make my own labels. I do everything from the muscle because, you know, it's a small business. I'm not going to hire somebody else to do what I can do myself, or I can educate my children to do. I'm going to buy whatever products are needed to, you know, do it in the best way. So,
are there any legal? So if I decided, you know, if you were to give advice to someone going into this business, are there any legal entities or any prior requirements that you have to have? I know, like in food service, you got to have Safe Serve and.
For product production, unfortunately, I think people should be thankful that they have a person with a background that knows what they're doing. If you are interested in doing it, I would say do it. I am going to be having seminars and workshops on how to do it because a lot of people seem interested, so that I can help them create their own brand and things like that at a later time. However, I would say go for it. You can do it. You're going to have to follow, you know, the laws in terms of making your business legal, but then you're just going to have to take some time out to make sure you're educated, because somebody that wants to start a product line and somebody that's educated to start a product line is two different things. Because if you just say you want to start a product line, that's fine, but are you educated in the components that you're going to utilize? You know, what would your aim be in starting this line? Would you do it because you're looking to make more money, because you're already making it? Like me, I have 5 kids. I'm making products and batches and bowls so big for us to use on a daily basis. So I know exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I know what I'm putting in here. I know what I'm doing. So I would just say, just make sure you're educated on what you're doing. And unfortunately, the reason why we have Walmart and all these other big wigs out here killing people is because they have the money to. Okay. So, you know, if you can afford it, just make sure you get the education. And that's more of a ethical and personal integrity thing that you want to offer what's good. Not just jump out there and, you know.
Are there classes on, like, the manufacturing of products that are for hair and body and such like that?
I'm not sure if people have them.
Well, I wanted to kind of answer your question as far as because you were asking about the liability part of it. And what I found out is that, you know, while I'm searching for business insurance, is that really they don't have a lot of insurance companies that are going to insure you because it's natural.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So really, it's not considered as really a liability. When it starts to be a huge liability is when you start adding a chemical factor, and that means that it's something that is it's a man-made chemical, and then you also may need a space for that. Okay, that's when it becomes a problem, or when it becomes a situation where they need to insure you, or you may want to get some insurance. But really, if it's a natural product, I've searched for insurance companies. They don't feel the need that they need to insure you, and especially if you are doing this from your home. And that's one thing. And then the other thing is that, you know, to anyone who is trying to start a natural care business, you know, you really want to come out, you really want to understand why you're doing it, which is kind of being redundant from what she said. But this came from, when I started this, it came from a need for myself. And so the thing is, you know, don't make things to just put it out. Because the thing about it is, you know that you're making it just to put it out.
Right.
So that means the energy that you bring with it.
Because, you know, everybody has a natural product.
But look at their products.
Yeah.
Look at what's in the products. Look at what they have.
Yeah.
A lot of people have whipped shea, and a lot of people have products that they've brought wholesale and put their name on it. I like to see the components of the product before I consider it. Because like I said, the industry's definition of natural and our definition of natural is two different things. So
I think
we just have to be careful.
Okay.
Yes, I just think that, you know, when you're coming out of the gate, make something that you can stand by, okay? Because when you can stand by it and you believe in it, you bring that energy to the table when people walk up to you, and they can trust what you have going on. And I think that that is really important. And then, is it your passion? is this your assignment? You know, that you were supposed to be doing. And so you have to think of it from that perspective as well. And so it's not a hobby. You know, this is something that you really have to do because, or stick to it. Okay, you can't. It's something that you once you're in it, you don't come out of it. And so if you're going to do this, I would personally say, search your soul and find out, is this something that you're doing because it looks good to other people that you're starting a small business? Is it something that is your passion? Whatever you're producing, can you stand by it? What I found is that when I really got and disappeared into my brand, you know, it was just such an amazing experience just to disappear into your brand, and it just became a part of me. And because I can stand by it, it just changes the whole thing. And it just changes how I talk to people when they come up to my table, what information I'm giving them. And that positivity brings in what you're looking for, which is generally you want some type of revenue from it. Okay, so when you're making a product, you know, make something that you can really stand by, and something that you're not doing for show, and something that's going to solve a problem either with yourself or other people. And you know, my target market are the people who, number one, are tired of buying a product and it not delivering. And my target market is for the health conscious people who are who want to be healthy, and they want their children to be healthy. And you know, and also people who want to use an amazing product without sacrificing their health. And so that's where I'm coming from it, because that's what was going on with me. And so that's how I work with it. And so, you know, and also too, if you're coming out of the gate in a business, as any business, you know, sit down with yourself, because everything is all exciting in the beginning, you know. But once it comes down to breaking down dollars and cents, time, and what it costs to actually launch that,
This is very expensive. I have
you know,
to say.
that's
very expensive.
You know, that's when you're gonna find out if you're really being a boss or are you getting tossed. You know what I mean? That's where you're really gonna figure it out, because you're gonna you'll be like, okay, wait, I wasn't really that serious. I think, you know what? I'm gonna let my friend do this.
We have a question. We have a question from Candiva. She said, is hair remover like DEET or Nair good for our body? Any input on that? Recommendations maybe for products for hair removal? And do Fitra One offer any products towards that?
For hair removal, I would say not to use DEET or Nair. They are not healthy products. If you just take a look at the components that's in there, I would take a oil solution and put that on the spot where the hair has to be removed from, and get a good razor, which is just natural, a natural knife. Those things are newly invented matters, and they are not safe for the skin. You can just smell the Nair. It is not good for you.
It smells so bad.
The new patches that they have.
It smells
My
like
daughter tried it, and I had to make her a clay mask to put underneath her arms because it made them black. So I would say no. Since you asked about it, I can develop something like that. I would have to do research on it first, because none of the things in the industry is natural. So I have to make sure a law gave us something that can remove the hair naturally. If not, then I would say, you know, I have a component of oils and a good razor to use so that you don't get scratched up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, and
All
thank
right,
you for that
everyone.
question.
So we're going to wrap it up, and I want to thank everyone.
Thank you so much for joining in, you guys.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Oh, look at my light right now, but it's okay. Thank you for tuning in today. And if you guys have any other questions, you can. I'm gonna tag them into the video, and you can follow them on their pages and their websites. And tune in next week.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
See you guys. Thank you so